Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Naram Promotions, the real deal podcast show, and we call this Thursday Night Live. I must apologize for the late start, ladies and gentlemen. It's for a reason. And we always say, pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in. But always remember, God is in control. Always remember that, ladies and gentlemen, that God is in control. And we got to pray every day. You know, so welcome back to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. It's a late Thursday Night Live. And I'm sure many of you in the U.S. and the Caribbean will see it tomorrow morning. However, in the UK, it's your day. You know what I mean? So it's early. Big up to DJ Asher D as he progresses through his time to prepare for his show later on today. So big up to yourself, my nephew, every time. Do remember you can donate to this channel and to keep this family-friendly show alive. Donate whatever you can, $1, $2, $10, no matter how much it is. Donate. I'll give you the link down below so you can donate at any time to our show. So down below, you'll see how you can donate to our show to keep this family-friendly show alive. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all your donations. It's a beautiful thing. We got also give a big shout out to Miss Dion Curtis, Mrs. Dion Curtis. She's been going through some medical issues, and we were not able to put her on the show to talk to you about the school uniform injunction in St. Elizabeth. That's been going on for many, many years. So we're waiting for her to recover before we take her on the show. So speedy recovery to Mrs. Dion Curtis. We say we love you and we are praying for you and we are waiting to hear from you. All the best. And we'll continue to check in to see how you're doing. Big up, Miss Dion Curtis. And also, we're going to follow the careers of two prolific people in Jamaica. One is Kahela Martin. You remember her from the gymnastics team? She did very well in the Dominican Republic. Also, her team. And we got to big up Coach Jody from the Pianite Gymnastics Club in Mandeville. And we're going to follow them from time to time. So keep it locked. Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. Do remember that you don't know what's going to come on this show. unless you like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. So big up every time to the Pay Night Gymnastics Club in Mandeville with Coach Jody every time. So I wanted to bring you, I'm going to kind of stay away from the jokes. Life is getting extremely hard and serious. So I want to bring some inspiration to all of you, my audience. So let's start with 2 inspiration and then we'll go back to regular programming. Here we go. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning you wake up, I want you to say this one powerful prayer, no matter what religion you follow. I learned this from Louise Hay, who's a world famous speaker and the best-selling author of the book, You Can Heal Your Life. Please make sure to save this so that you can use it as a reminder. As soon as you wake up, close your eyes and say this: all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of each experience I go through, only good will come to me. I am safe, I'm protected, and I'm loved. This prayer works like magic because even before you start your day, you're priming your subconscious mind to look for the good in everything that is about to happen in your day. This helps you completely shift your perspective and have an optimistic approach towards life. Most of us, in fact, all of us know what we want in life. But most people give up when they face challenges in life. But I believe every challenge in our life is a blessing and an opportunity, because that is what pushes us forward. So start your day with this powerful mantra and type ready. If you're going to make this a part of your morning routine, if you're not, subscribe us. You will probably never hear my voice again, but if you are, congratulations. Every morning you wake up, I want you to say this one powerful prayer.
Always say that one powerful prayer every morning you wake up. Life is tough, ladies and gentlemen, so you got to be prepared. And the only way to prepare yourself for this jungle out here is to pray. And we say, big up to all those who are always praying. And we say, hats off to you. It's a beautiful thing. However, ladies and gentlemen, life is not how you see it or perceive it. It's something more complex, and you got to understand the ins and out of this life. So let me bring you your second inspiration for today. Here we go.
God, why do the people I trust keep hurting me? And he said, because I'm teaching you the difference between being surrounded and being supported. I asked again, why do I keep giving my heart to those who don't value it? He replied, because you're learning that not everyone deserves access to the deepest parts of you. With a heavy heart, I asked him, why do I always have to be the strong one? He said, because I place strength in you that others don't carry. But even strong hearts need rest. I am your place of rest. I asked him through tears, why does it feel like I'm always the one who stays while others walk away? And he whispered, because loyalty lives in your spirit. But this season is about learning when to stay and when to let go. Finally, I asked, when will the right people come? God smiled and said, when you stop shrinking yourself for the wrong ones, you'll make room for the ones who see you clearly and choose you fully. I asked God, why do the people I trust keep hurting me?
Ladies and gentlemen, remember this. You're not alone in this struggle. Always remember, God is in control. Always remember that, ladies and gentlemen. It is necessary for you to focus in these times. Focus on reality. Be aware of everyone and your surroundings. Make good choices. It is extremely important, and it's imperative that you do so for your family. Family comes first. Welcome back to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. And this is Thursday Night Live. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have another brother, a young Jamaican artist that goes by the name of DJ Extension. I promised them I'll give him the connection to Europe. He was interviewed here a couple of podcasts ago, so you got to check it out. It was a beautiful interview, and one of his first. And he was so appreciative for it because he's trying to break into a market and the globe, or the global audience, and he needs guidance. So I connected him with my nephew, DJ Ashady, and he'll be on radio today. DJ Ashady is a global producer, radio personality, disc jockey, and a musical connoisseur. He's on passionradiouk.com, which will be airing at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time. We call it GMT time. And you want to check him out. Go on, Google it, or go on to passionradiouk.com and log in. For us here in New York time, it's going to be roughly around 1 p.m. For you in Jamaica, you got to work that out for yourself, or the Caribbean people, or the Canadian, or African, or Central American, or American people, or South American. You got to work out your time because you don't want to miss DJ Ashady. He's got a program lined up for you. And he's one of the best radio disc jockeys in Europe at this time. So you got to check him out. Check out DJ Ashady every Friday, UK time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to be about 1 p.m. US time. So you do the calculations for your area or zone on the earth, where you know your time. Check it with UK time, but it's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time. All right, so check that out. It's going to be a big deal. I told you so. This is Naram Promotions, the Big Deal Podcast Show, Thursday Night Live. And ladies and gentlemen, I also got to give a shout out to all my children. That's Candice, Shantae, Shalene, Lil George, Elizabeth, Giovanna. Daddy loves you. But we got to say a special prayer for little Elizabeth, 15 years old. She's in the hospital right now, and she's battling for life. So put her in your prayers, ladies and gentlemen. Please put her in your prayers. We're praying for her recovery. It's not looking good, but God is in control. So it's going to be a somber show tonight. So thank you for all the prayers in advance. And I say thank you for all the thoughts in advance. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. I want to also give a big shout out to my grandchildren. That's Shalicia and Shauna. Granddad loves you. And one day when you are older, maybe you will understand these podcasts I am doing. Treasure these moments. And to the entire family, to my entire family, I say I love you all. God bless. I love my children. I say I love you. And my grandchildren, I love you. So, and my family, I also love you. God bless you all. So, welcome to the show. We have a little bit of information for my audience. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. Do me a favor. Just click now, subscribe, because there's a lot of you who are listening and watching, but you're not subscribing. And I'm that's the least you can do for me to keep the show alive and to tell YouTube, Facebook, and all the other platforms that they should send this out and keep it going. You know what I mean? To keep this show alive. So please, ladies and gentlemen, click subscribe, click share, and click the notification bell. And you can also comment. I'm going to open the phone lines if you're any one of you right now who are watching and listening, you want to make an input, um, I'll open the phone lines in a short while. So please click the notification bell, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You know what I mean? It tells YouTube and all the social media to it ups the algorithm so they can keep it keep spreading the news that we're on air. Okay, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, in advance. I ask you, do it now, please. Do it right now. It only takes you less than a second. Click, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, comment. Just click the like button, subscribe button, share it. Also, comment along the way so I can interact with you. You know what I mean? I need you to interact with me so I can interact with you. All right? So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, in advance. Um, I'm still waiting for Jamaican to finalize a date that we can bring him on here. He's on tour. And we're going to get that date, ladies and gentlemen. I won't stop until I get that date from Jamaican. I know he's extremely busy at this time. However, we will get the date to bring him on here live. So it's either going to be on a Thursday night live or a Saturday night vibe or a PIP Mondays. It's going to be one of them. Or it could be in between. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. And also, we talked about DJ Extension. So DJ Asher D, big promoter in Europe, and also a big producer there, and radio disc jockey. He's touching base right now, as we speak. In this not this exact moment, but he's touching base with DJ Extension, a young Jamaican artist who wants to break international, and he's touching base with him to groom him for greater heights. And we say congratulations to DJ Ashley and also DJ Extension. That's a beautiful thing. I also remind you that we're going to follow up with Kahalia Martin and see how her young career is going, because we believe in the younger generation and we can spot greatness. So this Naram Promotions is always with the youths and the next generation. So therefore, we'll always highlight the next generation every time. You know what I mean? Even my little one, Giovanna, she's a star in the making. Don't get it twisted. All my children are stars, and I love them all. But the youngest one, she's a superstar, and she's in the making. So also big up to the Pay Night Gymnastics Club in Mandeville with Coach Jody. We are going to follow up with her as we go along also. Miss Kadeen Bartley. Remember her? She had some tragedy in her family and personally, and we're reaching out to her to bring her story here because she is an icon in the community of New Forest District in Manchester. She has been doing many, many things for the community, and we're going to bring her here live. And also for the New Forest High School, Principal Allen, and also the young Principal Mulgrave, and also um, the chairman off the board of New Forest School. We're going to reach out to them to come on the show live. Also, to tell you of all the good things that are happening in New Forest District in Manchester. You know, we keep it South Central Jamaica all the time, first and foremost. So it's a big deal, I'm telling you. With upcoming events, we have Shine Skull Movements. They're going to be giving you the thrills on December 26th. That's Boxing Day. It's a family affair because he's my family, and we have Asha as Treddy, because we all Asha. I'm the bigger one, you know what I mean? I'm Uncle Asha, you know what I mean? And I say my name is Asha Mystic. But you have Treddy as Asha, that's my nephew, and also Steve, that's Asha D in the UK, that's my other nephew, and they're gonna have a party on the 26th, Boxing Day of December. So the 26th of December this year is going to be a family affair, big deal. And Shine Skull Movement is going to be there. I'm going to show you the poster in a couple of minutes, in a few minutes. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, click that notification bell, because that's a big deal. I'm telling you, you got to check it out. Also, remember Hot Gossip? Yeah, we've reached out to the crew. We're just waiting on DJ Latza. I would say big up to DJ Latza every time. He's going through a few stuff and personal business and so on overseas and in the United States. So he'll be back here soon. So stay tuned. He will be here to be a part of that interview with both DJ, what did I say, Mr. Lee, that's Hot Gossip with Mr. Lee and Ishi, and also Dragon Force. I spoke to Father Dragon, and I must tell you that I'm truly impressed with how he revamped his sound. The sound system was big, was little more Talawa, but had a big bass back in the day. You know what I mean? He's one of the cornerstone, the godfathers of the music, the sound system music and culture in South Central Jamaica. He has revolutionized his sound. He's rebuilt it. You know, new boxes, new amps, new console, everything is looking absolutely beautiful. And it sounds great because he is synonymous with the big bass of the big sound system, but coming from a small setup. So, you know, Father Dragon will be on here soon, and you want to be here to listen to the journey of Father Dragon, because he has invested his own time, efforts, expertise, monies to keep it alive, even though he only selects where he goes to play music, because he is the foundation in that area. So is Hot Gossip. You get what I'm saying? And we have Young Shine Skull. That's now a powerhouse in the sound system, the mobile sound system business in Central Jamaica, South Central, that is. So it's a big deal when they come on the show. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. Please do that right now. And I say this, that, you know, we're going to have a DJ Asher D and myself, we're going to have a collaboration from UK to US on a lot of stuff. So he's a big producer. He's also a disc jockey. He's also a radio personality, and he produces reggae music and also other genres of music in the UK. So you want to stay tuned and check that out because it's going to be a big, big deal. Just remember, he's going to be on air today, Friday, at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time. Check it out. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you the poster in a few minutes. So we also want to highlight another family member of mine in Tampa, Florida. That's Andrew Ashmead. That's he has a chain of restaurants called the Jerk Hut. The Jerk Hut is an icon venue, and these venues in Tampa is now a lifestyle. It showcases Jamaican food and culture on a different level. It's now a lifestyle. You got to check out the Jerk Hut. Put it on your list of places to go. If you're wherever you're traveling from, head to Tampa, Florida, and check out the Jerk Hut. I'm going to bring that up in a few minutes. So let's start with that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the Jerk Hut because he has an event this October 25th, but in November is their anniversary. And I'm telling you, the anniversary runs for the entire month. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's start with what's happening on November 1st, and then I'll revert to October 25th. That's a big, big deal. You don't want to miss it. It's a big deal. So let's touch on that right now and show you what's going on for November 1st, I think it is. So let's bring that on screen for you, and then we'll move on from there. So let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's find that. We're going to find his. Okay, here we go. We're going to share that with you right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about because it's a big deal. Here we go. So let's bring that on stage and get that right.
Bless up, family. This is Natalie Rice, making sure you know that if you're in Tampa, you must forward to Andrew's birthday bash, Jerk Hut, DJs, free Jamaican food. What? You're mad? You have to come in. The music, vibes, celebration. Let's get it.
Big deal. That's a big, big deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's his birthday bash. That's, I think, November 1st. Let's hear that again. November 1st.
Bless up, family. This is Natalie Rice, making sure you know that if you're in Tampa, you must forward to Andrew's birthday bash, Jerk Hut, DJs, free Jamaican food. What? You're mad? You have to come in. The music, vibes, celebration. Let's get it.
Okay, so let me show you a couple of stuff here about the Jerk Hut. For those who don't know, because I don't know who on planet Earth doesn't know about Jerk Hut in Tampa, Florida, the best Jamaican food in the entire United States. If you think I'm joking, check it out. Go there, and if I'm lying, call me and tell me I'm lying. But I can tell you this. It's the best Jamaican food anywhere in the United States. You get a full buffet. And I'm telling you, that's, you call him Anjo Panjo. That's my nephew. Check him out. Jerk Hut is the best Jamaican food in the entire United States. And I beg to differ if it's not the entire Americas, from North America to South America. If you want to go, if you think I'm lying, go there. challenge me and go to the jerk hut and tell me in the comment section if I'm lying, because he has a full buffet and you get the full line of Jamaican food, fresh. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Check out the jerk hut, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big, big deal. Tampa, Florida. And I'm sure he's got plans to extend it to other states. He's gonna be on a show very soon before his event in November, or I'll try to get him here before this event that we're talking about. Let's talk. Let's get this on screen, because this on the 25th of October, we're gonna have a big deal here. It's gonna be a big deal about the Jerk Hut, and that event is creating waves around the world, because you have a lot of people flying in for that event, and it's called Stush. If you don't know what Stush is, ladies and gentlemen, you ever heard about Bambino, DJ Bambino? Yeah, man. If you're of a certain era, or if you're inclined with the music and the culture of Jamaica, you'll know who I'm talking about. Mr. Bambino himself. Let's put him on stage. Here we go. Listen to Mr. Bambino.
All right, Bim Bambino in the building right now. I'm here in the beautiful island of Jamaica. Where are you? But guess what? We are forward to Tampa, October 25. The party name Stush. So make sure you come out and enjoy yourself. Bambino will be there live alongside DJ Kirky C. So you know, so it's going to be lit. Big up Kirky C every time. Big up to the Jerk Hut, because that's where the place is. October 25. Make sure you reach there, whether you walk or a take bus or a drive. Bim!
So, ladies and gentlemen, Stush is a big deal. October 25th. You gotta start booking your flights, contacting Jerk Hut. Let me get hold on a second. Let me get you up to speed of what's going on here. If you're not already booked for Stush, you gotta do that right now. Trust me. Let's get Andrew on here to tell you about it. I want him to tell you what's going on, because this is a big deal. Me have my spot, you know. You ready? Yeah, because we're not late. Family thing, you know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get Andrew on here. That's Andrew Ashmead. And let's get him on here to tell you what's exactly. Hold on a second. Let's get that going. And let's get Andrew up here to tell you what's really going on at Jerk Hut on October 25th. It's a big deal. You know, the whole internet is buzzing with what's to come. So let's Andrew share this with you, and you can tell me if you're not ready for this. October 25th, and then after that is the birthday bash, and then the entire month of November is going to be a big deal. So Andrew, let's hear from Andrew. Hold on.
One of the nice things, food inclusive tickets. Yes, indeed. VIP. Check us out. Instagram. And also Eventbrite. Facebook. All of that. Tampa Bay is coming up soon. Stush, the biggest, baddest party to hit Tampa in a long time. This is a new kind of party. This is a different kind of experience. My good friend DJ Bambino is flying in from Jamaica. And let me tell you something, Bambino, this is his first return to Tampa after a very, very long time. If you know who Bambino is from back in the day, leave me a comment. Anyway, October 25th at Jerk Hut Island Grill and Beach Club. Stush, the new modern Caribbean party experience. Let me tell you, The early bird tickets, them almost gone. They're going to be going away soon. And the cabanas, the VIP tables, all of those things, you make sure you get them now because they're selling fast. October 25th, all roads lead to Jerkut Island Grill and Beach Club. Yeah, man, that me I tell you.
So you heard it from the man himself. Andrew said, get your tickets, your cabanas, your VIP tables, because it a run out. You understand me? Me have my own. What for you there? Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a big deal. Stush is a different type of party. As I said, the jerk hut is a lifestyle now. It's not just an event, it's a lifestyle. So if you know what the jerk hut is, or you don't, then you want to experience it right now. You know what I mean? Get yourself together for October 25th. It's going to be a big deal. Big up to Andrew. Yeah, man. I want to bring to you some other stuff here regarding a jerk hut, just to give you a teaser of what's going on down there in Florida. So let me kind of bring that up to you, and let's hope I have it queued up. If I don't, then I'll get it here very, very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I got it queued up. Do I have it queued up? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have it queued up here. Do I? No, I don't. So I'm going to come back to it and see what yeah, I need to bring it to you. And I'm going to search for it just a second because I don't want to get out of this segment just yet until I bring to you some of the stuff that's going on at the jerk hut. And here we go. So I found it, ladies and gentlemen. So you can have a good look at what the jerk hut is and the venue. This is the beach club, and I'm telling you, it's massive. And he's got live bands there every week, and DJ Kirkesy is off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to bring it up to you right now and let you see what's going on and how the Jerk Hut Beach Club looks in Tampa, Florida, because a lot of you don't really know. So I'm going to give you a glance of it. So let's go. Here we go.
What's up, y'all? It is Chris Social dropping another gem for you guys. Look, palm plate. Oh my gosh, like I love going to Jerk Hut in Tampa, especially on a Sunday. I go for the grab and go, but you can go for the buffet. All the entertainment, them obviously the lady that I sing and walk up and down. But the reason why I support Jerk Hut, even with mixed reviews, is because my jerk be jerking. Okay, they make it in a drum pan. It is authentic and it's not made in an oven. So if you looking for some good jerk chicken, go to Jerk Hut on Fowler. What's up, y'all? It is Chris
So,
Social
ladies
dropping
and
another gem
gentlemen,
for you guys. Look, palm please.
there you go. That's a Jerk Hut.
Oh my gosh, like I love going to Jerk Hut in Tampa, especially on a Sunday. I go for the grab and go.
So you heard it yourself. Even on a Sunday, a 7-day a week, you know. Yeah, the Jerk Hut is popping. Ladies and gentlemen, it's off the chain. I'm telling you, it's something to be reckoned with. And I'm proud of my cousin, Andrew Ashmead, for sticking with the hard road to build his dream. And his wife and children and the entire family who stood by him and his friends and so on. I say congratulations to the Jerk Hut, Andrew, and the family. And I'm telling you, he's got a great wife is standing. She's a real hero, a heroine. I'm telling you, they built a brand which is now a tourist attraction in Tampa, Florida. So people from all over the world come to see the Jerk Hut and taste the food and feel the vibes, because he's got live bands, live singers, live entertainers. He's got so much going on there. As I said, it's a lifestyle. It's no longer an event place. It's a lifestyle that you have to indulge in. I'm telling you, big up to Andrew and the family every time. Yeah, you got some. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to touch into some U.S. immigration, because things are still going in a certain direction in that respect. And I wanted to touch that on this live here. I'm still waiting. See a lot of people here. Click the subscribe button, click the like button, share the podcast, and also comment. Just don't watch and don't comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where what your thoughts are of the show. Give me some positive criticism so we can tweak the show to your liking. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So, U.S. immigration. There's a USCIS is declaring war on my immigrants. That's the head. This is the headline here from an attorney over in California. I think he's in California, but let's see. Let's get him on here to tell you a little bit more about what he means by USCIS is declaring war on immigrants. And here we go. So let's check him out, and then I'll comment afterwards. Here we go. Are you ready? There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed.
If you're going to be applying for a green card based on marriage, employment, self-petition, it seems that Immigration Service are going to assume that your case is not legitimate, and it's going to be your job to prove them wrong, which means cases are going to get harder. You'll have to provide more evidence at immigration interview. More cases will be subject to review. And of course, cases are going to get delayed. Be overly prepared. Don't gamble with your immigration case.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's extremely important to remember, that you cannot gamble in this time. Things have changed with U.S. immigration, and it's not a wise time to be here undocumented or out of status. You need to take care of your situation, and you need to take care of it right now. This is not a joke, it's a warning, because things are going to intensify over the next few months and years, because President Donald Trump has just begun. It's back to law and order. So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you that things have changed, and it's not business as usual. And I've said that in many podcasts. And let's bring up ICE is using AI to track and deport immigrants. Artificial intelligence is now being used to track and deport illegal immigrants or people out of status. So I'm going to put that on the stage for you right now, and I'm going to comment afterwards. Here we go. Are you ready?
ICE has been using AI to track immigrants and decide who to arrest and deport. This system, called Immigration OS, pulls data from Social Security, IRS, DMV, passports, and even license plate readers. And here's the problem. Algorithms can make mistakes, and they rely on biased data. That means innocent people can end up arrested, detained, or even deported. But remember, even with AI tracking, you still have the right to remain silent and ask for a lawyer. Share this video with friends who need to know, and follow for more immigration.
So you heard it for yourself. This is no joke. This is a big big deal. ICE is using artificial intelligence to track you down. So don't feel as if it's just artificial intelligence. IRS is also giving ICE access to taxpayers' information. So those who are here undocumented and they're here trying to, comply with the law by paying taxes. Let me have attorney Brad Bernstein share a couple of things with you about what's going on with ICE and the IRS. It's a big deal. So they know where you are. Here we go. So let's bring on attorney Brad Bernstein.
The IRS just agreed to give ICE taxpayer data, something that's always been private until now. The big question is, what is the government going to do with this information? For 100 years, law enforcement needed a court order to get people's tax information. That's why nobody ever saw Donald Trump's tax returns for the last 10 years, because they were protected by law. Now all that privacy is gone. ICE can use IRS information to track immigrants, but really that's only the beginning. For all those saying, yeah, go get those immigrants, here's where the problem affects you. IRS and ICE use different computer systems. Just wait until there starts to be mismatches, because records are not going to align, and they start targeting people that should never be targeted. The system is relying on last known addresses, but people move. Now ICE may be knocking on doors and the people they're targeting may not be living there. Wouldn't you hate to open up the door and find out ICE is looking for someone else, but there you are? Who knows what would happen? The agreement is supposed to only share data regarding people with final orders of removal. But we know once the door is open, it's going to be expanded to other categories. And it's going to end all taxpayer privacy, not just for immigrants. And this agreement is secret between ICE and IRS. Nobody really knows the fine details. Probably if you're a smart immigrant and you think you're going to be tracked, why would you pay taxes? All this is going to do is reduce tax revenue. And it certainly undermines the message that we've been telling immigrants for 50 years. Even if you're undocumented, pay your taxes because that means you're following the law. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Brad Byrne.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you see, you gotta listen carefully what attorney Brad Bernstein just shared with you and rewind it, go back and listen again. It's extremely important that you listen to what he says because he just shared some very critical information with you. You got to listen it again. Listen again. I can't say it any more than that. Listen again. So for those who think they can wait this out or subvert President Donald Trump and his mission that the American people voted him in for, if you think you can go around it, think again. Think again, because now, this October, things have just begun. It's gonna get more intensified. Things are gonna ramp up. They're gonna circle the wagons and circle you if you're not in any good way. So I wanted to listen to attorney Brad Bernstein again, as he tells you, if they circle you, circle the wagons, and you're caught, guess what? If ICE breaks down the door, what do you think? What are you going to do? Because they have the right to do that right now. They can come in at any time, anywhere, anyhow. They just appear. And what are you going to do? Check this out. Attorney Brad Bernstein, let's hear from him. Let's go.
The truth is, if ICE wants to kick down your door, they're going to do it. Who's going to stop them? You're not going to sit there and get into a fist fight with them. So at that moment, you have to accept it. Be put in handcuffs and be taken away. But here's where the law protects you. In court, that's where the playing field evens out. If they break down your door without a warrant, everything that happened after is no good in court. If judges are following the law, they have to release you. And I have to assume that even in 2025, judges will follow the law. So everything gets thrown out. The arrest, evidence they find against you, It's all from the fruit of the poisonous tree defense. So if ICE does drag you out of your home without a warrant, you have rights, you fight it out in court, and you should be released. Let me know what you think in the comments and share.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Attorney Brad Bernstein. He's telling you he's giving you some vital information. So check it out. Listen, go back and listen again. You gotta, I can't point this out more to you. Listen to the experts in the business. I'm bringing this to you for a reason. So you gotta listen. A lot of people have this notion that it's business as usual and they can go around this. It will end soon. President Donald Trump has just begun. He's 8 months in. And it would appear as if it's 10 years he's been there. There's so much that has happened since January 20th to right now that you got to pay attention, because some of us tune this out and think it's going to be business as usual and we can go about our daily lives without any problems. It's coming to your door soon. So let's look at 3 ways or 3 new rules from the USCIS that you should know before you go. It is absolutely important that you listen to this, especially green card holders. Let's get to it. If you qualify for U.S. citizenship, you need to get that application in because they're changing the test criteria. What are you waiting for? Talk to an immigration attorney, talk to an immigration specialist. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big, big deal. And I need you to know before you go. So I'm going to bring this on and I'm going to comment on it afterwards. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. USCIS announces 3 major changes you must know about. 3 shocking USCIS changes are now in effect. 1 could get your case denied instantly, another could put you in removal proceedings, and the third might actually speed up your green card approval. Let's break them down. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're covering critical updates from USCIS that directly affect thousands of applicants across the United States. If you are filing soon, attending an interview, or waiting on a green card, this information is crucial. These new rules are already rolling out as of September 2025, and if you miss them, the consequences could be serious for your case, your timeline, and even your future in America. 1. USCIS moves to electronic payments only. The first major change is about how you pay for your immigration applications.
We just raised 50 million at 410 million.
Let's get that off the stage and go back to regular programming. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
So, USCIS has announced that it will no longer accept paper checks or money orders. From now on, only credit card or debit card payments will be accepted. That means if you try to submit a check or money order, your application will be rejected and mailed back to you. At first, that might sound like a small inconvenience, but in immigration, missing a filing deadline can destroy your case. A rejected payment could cost you your priority date, cause months of delays, or even lead to a complete denial if your window to file closes. In the past, many applicants relied on checks and money orders because they felt safer or didn't have access to cards. USCIS used to require a credit card authorization form, but now they've also introduced a debit card authorization form so that electronic payments become the new standard.
I want you to listen to that again. Just go back and listen to it. The changes are phenomenal. That means it's only electronic payments. So if you don't have a credit card that's linked to a bank in the United States, they're not taking paper checks anymore. They're moving away from all that shenanigans. You know, the check system was a problem. So they're going to electronic payments. So you have to have a credit card, debit card, so that they can pull that money directly from a U.S. bank. So that was a problem, and they solved it. So that takes out of contention a lot of people who used to be able to buy money orders at the post office and send it in, or send in personal checks, or send in checks from overseas. No. They're not doing that anymore. So let's continue to listen. Here we go.
Here's why this matters. Immigration cases are extremely time-sensitive. If you're filing for adjustment of status, an employment-based petition, or any time-restricted visa, you cannot risk a payment failure. Make sure the card you use has enough funds, hasn't expired, and is accepted by USCIS. This change is part of USCIS's push to modernize its payment system, reduce fraud, and cut down delays caused by returned or bounced checks. But for applicants, the responsibility shifts entirely onto you. If your payment doesn't go through, there are no second chances. You'll have to start over. So, before you send your application, double-check every detail. 2. Bring your own interpreter to USCIS interviews. The second big change affects USCIS interviews for green cards, asylum, naturalization, and other applications. From now on, if you are not fluent in English, you must bring your own interpreter.
Okay.
Now, technically, this rule has always existed. USCIS has long required applicants who don't speak English well to bring their own interpreter. But in practice, many field offices, especially in large cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago, often provided telephone interpreters. Some applicants were even told not to worry about finding one because USCIS would provide one. That is no longer the case. Today, USCIS has made it clear if you arrive without an interpreter, your interview could be rescheduled or even denied. And here's the dangerous part. If your case is denied, you could be issued a notice to appear, or NTA, in immigration court. That would put you in deportation proceedings, which is a situation nobody wants to face. For now, a few field offices are still offering a short grace period where they may provide a phone interpreter, or allow you to return another day with your own interpreter. But this grace period is temporary. The new policy will be enforced nationwide very soon. Think about it this way. Even if you can understand some English, you don't know who your interviewing officer will be. They may speak quickly, use legal or technical terms, or have an accent you struggle with. Immigration interviews are stressful enough. Misunderstandings could be costly. For example, imagine being asked about your work history, medical background, or marriage details. A slight misunderstanding could look like you're giving inconsistent answers. That could raise red flags, cause delays, or lead to denial. Having a professional interpreter makes sure everything is clear, accurate, and protects you from miscommunication. If you're applying for adjustment of status through Form I-485 and you're not 100% confident in your English, don't take risks. Bring your own interpreter. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
3. Faster processing for marriage-based green cards. Now, let's talk about the third change. This one is surprisingly positive.
You know, this is a big deal because now they're fast-tracking marriage-based petitions. And you got to be careful because there's so much more scrutiny that's going on right now that it's so fast that you have to make sure that you're up to speed of what is required of you, because you have to prove to the U.S. government that you are in a bona fide marriage. So there's things that you have to do real quickly because they're moving things real quickly. Here we go.
Marriage-based green card applications are being processed faster than ever before. In the past, applicants often waited 6 months, 9 months, or even over a year to get a decision. Work permits and travel documents, advance parole, were typically approved first, while the green card itself came much later.
Oh yeah. That's what.
Here's an example. One applicant reported that they filed their green card application, received approval notices for work authorization and travel documents within 30 days, but by the time they were scheduled for their green card interview, they still hadn't received the physical work permit card. Yet their green card was approved right after the interview. That's how quickly things are moving.
And that's phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. You got to understand that they're not messing around. They're moving things. If you file correctly and you're logical in your filing and things are authentic, that they can authenticate these facts or information that you've given them, this is going to move real fast, because they have the power of technology now to move things faster, and they've got more personnels ready and rearing to go, and they're getting rid of that backlog, and they're moving things fast. So it's upon you to make sure that everything that you do is correct first time, 100% correct. You can't be 90% correct. The 10% will fail you, and it will cause a rejection. So you got to be careful. Speak to an immigration attorney. Speak to an immigration specialist. Here we go. It's a beautiful
This is a
thing.
major improvement for couples. Faster processing means less waiting, less stress, and in some cases, less need for expensive additional applications. Many couples are now asking, should we even bother applying for work permits or advance parole if the green card will be approved in 3 months anyway?
So
why do these changes matter? Let's quickly recap the 3 changes. First, it's electronic payments only. No more checks or money orders. Second, you have to bring your own interpreter. If you don't, you risk denial or even deportation proceedings. And third, marriage-based green cards are moving faster.
So you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a kind of a good news for marriage-based petitions. Also, other petitions are moving faster as well. So for family-based petitions outside of marriage, that's a beautiful thing, because things are moving much faster, and that in itself gives you some confidence in the system amongst all the bad news that you've been hearing. So they're cleansing the system, and they're speeding up the application process. So that's a big deal. However, you got to check out Trump's admin cracking down on U.S. citizenship, U.S. citizen sponsors. So I want to kind of debunk some of the myth. This has been going on a long time, but right now they're scrutinizing them a lot more, and they're also enforcing a lot more. So those who take advantage of the system here in the United States, now the sponsors are on the hook for it. You get what I'm saying? So let's bring that to the forefront, and then I'm going to comment on it, and then we take it from there. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? How are you feeling? This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. Here we go. We're going to share that with you, and then we're going to talk about it. If you want to have a conversation, I'll open the phone lines only if you tell me in the comment section. All right? So let's get to it. Here we go.
So the Trump administration is now going to go after U.S. citizens who are sponsoring immigrants for a green card, especially if they suspect that those immigrants are going to take or have taken public benefits that they're not supposed to take. Who's affected? When is this going to be implemented? All the information in this video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. In this video, we'll break down new rules, new enforcement rules that the Immigration Service just posted on their Meta account, stating that they are going to be going after U.S. citizens who are sponsoring green card holders, signing affidavit of support, specifically those that take public benefits that they're not supposed to take. Now they're going to go after these U.S. citizens, making them pay back or even file court cases against them, and sometimes, and in other cases, actually fine them large amounts. Now, this has always been the case that if you sign the affidavit of support, it's a contract between you and the government, and they were supposed to enforce these regulations, but this never happened. Well, now things are changing. So in this video, we'll talk about what are some of these public benefits, specifically the 6 main public benefits that if you as an immigrant will take advantage of, the US citizen sponsor that signed your affidavit of support will be in trouble. And then we'll cover what are the benefits that you actually allowed to take while going through the green card process. And if you take those benefits, you'll be fine, and your US citizen sponsor will also be fine. And finally, we'll talk about when this obligation, the sponsor's obligation, when does it end? Is it forever? Is it for a couple of years? Many people are wondering, are concerned that now that they signed the affidavit of support, are they bound for life? Well, I'll cover all these points, so make sure you watch this video all the way.
Most people think that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear that, you got to go back to my previous podcast and where it was laid out. I had to bring it back to you because it's extremely important that you be aware of what the situation is now under the President Donald Trump's administration. He's now enforcing the law. This is not new. It's just that he's enforcing the law because a lot of people have been taking advantage of the laws that are on the book and trying to circumvent the laws. So he says he was elected to bring back law and order for the United States, and also to secure the future, and also the people and children and families of the United States. So it's law and order. So if you are used to chaos wherever you're from, it's a different sheriff in town right now. And he's enforcing the law because he was voted to do that, and he had the popular vote. That means many U.S. citizens are mandating him to enforce the law. No matter what you see is going on the media, the majority of Americans wants the president to enforce the law so he can stop crime and violence, the mass killings, the abuse, waste, fraud, and abuse that's happening here. People are coming here getting $1,000+ a week, 5-star hotels, 5-star food, and they're expecting that the American taxpayer should pay for it. And they're protesting that they don't want it to stop. You can imagine that if somebody walks into your house, takes over your house, tell you got to provide food, pay the utilities, and also don't talk to them and tell them anything different. You have no say in them being there. How would you feel if they broke your property line, came to your property, and tell you that you gotta feed me, shelter me, and give me monies, and I can stay as long as I want, and you can't tell me jack? You tell me, how would you feel? You're paying the bills. Taxpayers of America are paying the bills for these people, and they have no remorse. They have no respect for the laws here in the United States, and they're committing crimes and killing people, raping people, and also trafficking people, spreading drugs, and also creating mayhem. How would you feel if somebody trashed your home and tell you there's nothing you can do about it? Let common sense prevail, ladies and gentlemen. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. I tell you this, come to my house and you want to bring that philosophy, you won't make it. Goodness gracious me. The law is on our side as United States citizens. So you can't bring that to my house. No, it's going to be law and order. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the ICE chief talking about the protests, if it makes sense. Because some people are just warped in the mind. And I don't know what they're fighting for, protesting for people who are creating violence, crime and violence, misusing public funds in terms of waste, fraud, and abuse. It's all over the news, but guess what? These people are ignoring it because they're fighting for them to continue to do it, and we the taxpayers have to pay for it. I don't understand that part. I just don't get it. So if I am wrong, tell me in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, because I would definitely like to know if you agree with what's going on there, because this is not business as usual. You get what I'm saying? So let's bring that to the screen and I'll comment on it afterwards. Here we go. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Faulkner Focus.
They've had 60, 70 murders over a short period of time. Murders, people that got shot. They've had hundreds of people shot. And then a guy like Pritzker or this low IQ mayor gets up. What makes a man like that say that things are wonderful? Why doesn't he say, we love that President Trump is going to come and help us clean up Chicago and make it safe again, as opposed to fighting us and pretending that there weren't 50 murders and 200 shootings and all of that? Why is that?
President Trump there obviously talking as directly as he always does. Violent riots day after day with immigration and custom enforcement agents under attack. This is America. The president is calling for accountability for all of this, and it's dangerous for citizens. Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker quickly hit back.
There's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
And believe me, he's towing the line here. They will go and get him because the federal law trumps state law. So here we go.
Oh, he's a lot. You know he wants to run for president. Meanwhile, hundreds of National Guard troops are now on the ground in Chicago, part of what the Trump administration is calling Operation Midway Blitz, cracking down on illegal immigrants. And the legal challenges continue to pile up, and Mayor Johnson is promising to resist.
It's illegal, unconstitutional, it's dangerous, it's wrong. This is not about deportation. This is not about safety for this president. This is about authoritarianism. It's about stoking fear. It's about breaking the Constitution.
Despite the resistance by Democrats, Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino says the operation is already delivering results.
We're approaching almost 1,500 apprehensions in a month. A majority of those 1,500 are some extremely bad individuals, whether it's child rapists, trained Aragua gang members, terrorists, honest-to-goodness terrorists on the terrorist screening database, and many others.
Todd Lyons, acting ICE director, on set with me now. First of all, talk to me about the latest steps in this mission to get the worst of the worst out of the country.
So that's one thing we're doing, Harris, is we're making sure that we're putting our best agents and officers on the ground, working with our other federal partners to ensure that we are going after the worst of the worst. You know, one thing that ICE does is it's all criminal intelligence based. So we know exactly who we're going after. And that's one thing that's really frustrating for us is we get accused so many times of just going after a certain nationality or someone's skin color. And that's just not the case. The mission of ICE is to go out there and find the worst of the worst. And that's what the president's promised. And that's what we're doing on the ground in Chicago.
What successes have been thwarted because of the legal challenges and what we're watching right now, because the threats on your agents? I mean, this was outside the facility about 12 miles from the downtown area of Chicago, and they were having to use non-lethal weapons to push this crowd back. And day after day, they returned, and sometimes putting their hands on ICE agents and pushing against them, getting violent.
You know, and that's one thing that you just can't happen. You know, it's very frustrating to see, especially in this video. You know, they are protesting the men and women of ICE doing their lawful law enforcement mission, and the people that are in those vehicles aren't innocent individuals. Those are some hardened criminals that have been hiding in Chicago in plain sight. Much like Chief Bovino said, we've arrested Trinidad and Tobago gang members that are members now of a foreign terrorist organization, child rapists, fentanyl dealers. I don't understand why these people want to lobby and advocate and protest, if you will, for known criminals. It just makes no sense.
You and I were...
So this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And while these ICE raids are going on, there's a lot of people being scooped up, and some have questionable immigration status, that some do not know that they're even citizens because they've not pursued the avenues to make sure that they complete the journey based on historical facts. And we're going to call on attorney Brad Bernstein to share some insight on that, because some people who are United States citizens have been deported, but they don't even know that they were U.S. citizens because they did not follow up or complete that journey. So now a lot of people have been taken back by attorneys here, and also immigration specialists, and also Brad Bernstein. Also, they've been taken back to the United States because they didn't even know what their status was, because they did not follow up and complete the journey. So let's bring him on stage here so he can explain that to you, and then I'll touch base on that and comment. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
U.S. citizens returned to the United States after they were falsely deported. The most common reason why a U.S. citizen gets deported is because they don't realize that they derived U.S. citizenship through their parents, or the immigration judge or the ICE officer analyzes the immigration laws wrong and determined they're not U.S. citizens when in fact they derived citizenship. And generally you're deriving citizenship either because you are born to a parent who is a U.S. citizen, or more likely you had a green card before you were 18 and one or both of your parents were citizens, which qualified you for citizenship. I've never seen a situation where somebody was physically born in the United States, had a birth certificate born in the U.S. and still got deported, unless of course it was a fake birth certificate.
So you heard it from attorney Brad Bernstein himself. So you got to know before you go. So no matter what your situation is, you got to understand that there's laws within the immigration laws that protects you, but you've got to know. So these are serious times. So it's time to start contacting a U.S. Based immigration attorney or immigration specialist to talk about your case. If you have doubts, check in. Know before you go, or before the dragnet hits you, because it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going anywhere. It's just begun this month. They started earlier, but it intensifies this month in October 2025. And it's not going to get any easier. Wherever you are, they're coming to get you. And when that dragnet comes, you will be scooped up. So make sure your status is okay. Check on your status. Speak to an immigration attorney, speak to an immigration specialist, because you need to know before you go. You get what I'm saying? So you can't stay inside forever. You can't hide forever, because at some point, they're going to find you. At some point. It's only a matter of time. So know before you go. Speak to an immigration attorney, speak to an immigration specialist so that you can understand what's going on. And talking about they will come and get you, President Donald Trump is getting ready. He's getting ready, ladies and gentlemen, to invoke the Insurrection Act because of what's going on in places like Chicago and other places where the federal ICE agents and also the federal agents are being attacked, threatened, and also infringed upon when they're conducting their legal duties. So it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that it's not coming. They will find you. So let's bring that on stage so you can understand the magnitude of what I'm saying. Because if you think it's business as usual, think again, ladies and gentlemen. This is no joke. So let's bring here on our screens, let's bring the attorney in, Andrew Branca, I think it is. Yeah.
You keep calling them terrorists, but isn't that hyperbolic to call them terrorists?
What is? If anything, I'm understating the severity of the situation. What issue was more central in 2024 than turning back the border invasion? And since the day we came in, ICE officers have been subjected to a nonstop campaign of physical violence and harassment every single day. And outside the Portland field office in particular, every night. What's the purpose? To use actual physical violence to change the result of the election, to say you cannot turn back the border invasion. We shouldn't have to take all of the FBI, DEA, and ATF agents out of their desks, off their jobs, not prosecuting and pursuing cases of urgent national security because the Portland police won't respond, the Chicago police won't respond. It is domestic terrorism, it is insurrection, and no amount of insane hyperventilating lies from Pritzker or Johnson or any other Democratic official will change our minds on that. ICE officers should not have to live in fear and violence to do their jobs, period.
Secretary Kristi Noem notes that Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor Pritzker, they're doing everything in their power to shelter and protect criminal illegal alien gangbangers, murderers, violent anarchists.
This is my favorite dentist hack to clean my retainer. If you wear a retainer every night like I do, you know how hard it is to keep it truly fresh and clean, safe and bacteria-free. I've seen so many of my patients struggle.
Here we go. Let's get that off the stage and bring back.
Chicago Mayor just reaffirmed his allegiance to criminal illegal aliens with his pathetic ICE-free zones declaration. Fortunately for the innocent citizens of Chicago, the Trump administration doesn't protect criminals. We arrest them. So again, a lot of this language impeding, harboring insurrection, right? The administration is laying the groundwork for the Insurrection Act to be triggered as made necessary by the insurrectionists for statutes like this, 8 U.S.C. 1324, bringing in and harboring certain aliens. Let's take a look at this. Any person who knows that someone is an alien, brings or attempts to bring to the United States. All right, we're looking for harboring here. Where is harboring? Here we go. It's subchapter 3 here. Starting with any person who, knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, who conceals, harbors, or shields from detection, or attempts to conceal, harbor, or shield from detection such alien in any place, including any building or any means of transportation. And of course, what does a harbor mean? It means providing shelter. It means providing housing, food, medical care, cash, employment, education. That's what harboring is. What are the punishments for that? Where the offense is done for commercial advantage or private financial gain, that's a 10-year felony. Pretty serious. But most of these government officials, probably, unless they're taking bribes as well, are not doing that. If they're violating that provision and they're not doing it for personal financial gain, then it's a 5-year felony. But look at this. What if they're harboring an illegal migrant and that illegal migrant causes serious bodily injury to an American, like a drunk driving crash, like a grape, like a battery, like an armed robbery? Well, now that's good for the person, not the illegal alien who committed the crime. That's a separate offense. The person who harbored that illegal alien is now looking at 20 years in prison. And what if that illegal alien who was harmed kills somebody, kills an American citizen, well, then the person who harbored can be punished by death, execution. How many times have we heard these stories of these illegal migrants causing the death? It doesn't even have to be a murder. It could be a drunk driving homicide, resulting in the death of an American. Countless times, right? Scores, hundreds. Every one of those deaths caused by an illegal migrant who's been harbored, and of course they all have by somebody in the U.S. They're not living in the woods. Every one of those cases raises the prospect of execution for the person who did the harboring. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. That's what the law actually says.
There isn't actually a threat that these demonstrators are going to overthrow the government. Are you concerned that that response weakens your legal argument?
No, they are actually, as we speak, trying to overthrow the core law enforcement function of the federal government. Boris, this is, I think, what we're talking past each other. When ICE officers have to street battle against Antifa, hand-to-hand combat every night to come and go from their building, when they try to exit in a vehicle, when they are swarmed and surrounded and they try to tip the vehicle over, when people bring weapons to an ICE facility to try to engage in direct violent assault against ICE officers, what is the purpose? It is to prevent Immigration and Customs Enforcement from carrying out the mission the American people elected them to do. Their objective is to make it impossible for ICE to carry out ICE enforcement. When in our history have we tolerated unlawful riotous assemblies night after night around FBI buildings or ATF buildings or DEA buildings? This is the textbook definition of domestic terrorism, using the actual and imminent threat of violence to keep federal officials from doing their jobs. And unless we send in troops and resources, then we will continue to bleed federal law enforcement resources in these street battles. It's absurd, it's unconstitutional, and must be put down.
You cited Title 10 a moment ago, and under that statute, you need either a foreign invasion, a domestic rebellion, or a disturbance that inhibits the ability for law enforcement to carry out federal law. But ICE is still conducting operations.
This is how stupid this guy is. He actually misread that statute in a way that's more favorable for Stephen Miller. He read it as inhibits the ability of the federal government to carry out the law. I think that's a proper reading of the statute, but that's not actually what the statute says. The statute says the president can call out the militia if he's unable to carry out federal law. And the way some of these federal judges have been interpreting that is, if Trump makes 100 efforts to carry out federal law and 99 of them are obstructed by insurrectionists, but he's able to do it once, that one time means, well, he's able to carry out federal law. I would argue the reverse is true. If the federal government is prevented, impeded even once from carrying out federal law, then he can activate the militia. There's no number of impeding federal authority that's acceptable. But this guy actually said that it interferes with. Well, of course they're interfering with. They're blockading. They're besieging this ICE facility for more than 100 days. They're obviously inhibiting the ability of ICE to execute immigration law.
Are you interested in mushrooms?
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get that off the screen and get back to regular programming. And here we go.
Operations. Like the facility hasn't been overrun. It seems like local officials are fairly in control of the operation if ICE is still able to execute its mission, is it not?
Do you have any idea how much of ICE's workforce and resources have had to be reprioritized? How much of the Joint Terrorism Task Force's resources have had to be reprioritized to fight these domestic terrorists? Do you have any idea how many resources are spent
you keep
trying
calling
to
them
hunt down and
terrorists, but
track
isn't that hyperbolic to call them terrorists?
What is? If anything, I'm understating the severity of the situation. What issue was more central in 2024 than turning back the border invasion? And since the day we came in, ICE officers have been subjected to a nonstop campaign of physical violence and harassment every single day. And outside the Portland field office in particular, every night, they come, they assemble, they fight, they try to impede movement, they physically attack.
And again, impeding is a separate federal felony. Let me pull that one up just to share it with all of you because I keep it handy as well. So it's a real statute. That's why he keeps saying the word impeding, because it's a federal felony. Assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers. That's not happening every day outside the ICE facility in Portland and elsewhere around the country.
And for those who are demonstrating and impeding and blocking the federal agents from doing their job, you run the risk of going to jail and serving real time, because it is an offense. And I need you to listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen, to Attorney Andrew Branca, and he's laying it out for you. Here we go.
Of course it is.
What purpose? Because we had an election, Boris. We had one. What's the purpose? To use actual physical violence to change the result of the election, to say you cannot turn back the border invasion.
You make the case that these are terrorists, but in what we've seen thus far, the actual incidents of people inciting violence and not responding to law enforcement attempting to disperse them are not an open rebellion. I mean, again, you make this characterization as though they're terrorists, and I do wonder if...
I want you to listen carefully in this line of reasoning. Check it out.
It is potentially a problem in the future for Republicans. If a Democratic president someday calls the National Guard to a red state over what they see as open rebellion, but is what amounts to a demonstration that gets rowdy. I mean, is that not a fear?
They're posting pictures of their kids because it's a demonstration, and they have a sniper on top of a building firing a high-caliber rifle at a nice facility because it's a demonstration, and they are engaged in a vehicle ramming.
But the National Guard isn't being sent to Texas.
Because it's a
the National Guard isn't being sent to Dallas, where that sniper was.
Because the Dallas Police Department and the governor of Texas, well, you walked right into that one, have responded to every call for assistance and help. They gave a stand-down order in Chicago, and they gave a stand-down order in Portland. Do you realize that there's 11,000 federal law enforcement officers in Oregon? That's larger than the size of the FBI. Local and state police are resourced to deal with this kind of riotous assembly.
They've been arresting folks on the ground. They were refute what you're saying outright.
They arrest them and release them.
We literally have the 911 audio of the stand-down order in Chicago, and we have documented inside of DHS every single unresponded to 911.
You got to understand that with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So every negative action from the players who are trying to tear down the government and law and order, there is tenfold more reaction to those to respond to those threats or insurrections or whatever it is, those negative effects. There's at least tenfold reaction from the government to those. So you need to step back if you're in that category and rethink how you approach this and stay in lockstep with law and order, because it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't emphasize it more. It is coming. Social media is being targeted. They will track you. AI is tracking you. Everything is tracking you. And they will come. Whether it be now or in the future, it will come. So be absolutely careful and also fall in line with law and order, because with law and order, all of us benefits. But with mayhem and crime, violence and misuse of funds, and also waste, fraud, and abuse, all of us suffers as United States citizens and taxpayers. We're in a prisoner's dilemma. If you do wrong, it affects everybody. So the wrongs that many have done in the past, now they're cracking down on it, and Congress will act on it by creating laws to circumvent it, to cut it off. This era of fraud and abuse is over. And you're going to understand that. You're going to fall in line, get to work, and be honest. Do what you can do, but don't do the wrong things for for your dreams or your aspiration or your goals. It's extremely important that you be honest. Okay, so let's continue to listen to this for a few more minutes. What I'm going to do after that, I'm going to have some community events, and then I'm going to close the show with some music, but not on YouTube. I'm going to shut down YouTube, and then we're going to have a few minutes of real good music on this Thursday night live, and then we'll close the show. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
911 call over the recent weeks and months. Let me present you with a counterfactual. And I know you're doing your best to try to be even-handed here, but think about this for a second. Joe Biden let 15, 20 million illegal aliens into the country. Pick your number. It doesn't matter for the purpose of this. What do you think would have happened if anti-migration demonstrators had assembled outside of every Border Patrol and ICE facility for year after year, physically attacking every ICE officer and border agent who is releasing illegal aliens, physically attacking the immigration lawyers representing illegal aliens, physically attacking the personnel at DHS, setting migrants free by the millions into our country? What do you think would have happened? You think that the response would have been measured? You think it would have been light? They would have had the military in every single facility protecting these federal officers. We shouldn't have to take all of the FBI, DEA, and ATF agents out of their desks, off their jobs, not prosecuting and pursuing cases of urgent national security because the Portland police won't respond and the Chicago police won't respond. The numbers that we need can only come from the National Guard. ICE officers should not have to live in constant fear of death. You say that I'm not using the right term. What would you describe? An organized campaign of violence, fear, intimidation, and doxing, including attacks by sniper, attacks by vehicle ramming. What would you call that, whose sole aim and objective is to disable the functions of an entire federal law enforcement agency?
And that means you're aiding and abetting criminality. That's the bottom line. Because if you're not protecting the officers and federal agents who are doing their job to maintain law and order, and you're facilitating by not participating, then you are a part of the problem. So here we go.
If not domestic terrorism, what other term would apply?
Do you have evidence that this campaign is coordinated? Are you planning charges on anyone who is actually coordinating said campaign?
Yes. So since the joint terror...
Yes, I have a couple tabs on that for the bonus show. The heat is ramping up too on going after the infrastructure of the logistics behind these violent progressive fascist Antifa demonstrations. These people are paid. Their command and control staff are paid. People on the ground, the sergeants in the mob, you can see them if you watch the video. They're not throwing stuff. They're not directly engaging with ICE. They're going around whispering to people. All these people, they're who are being preferentially grabbed by ICE and hauled into the buildings like the sacks of human trash that they are. And left-wing progressive financiers of Antifa, I don't know if you've seen the headlines, they're beginning to self-deport themselves. They're beginning to uproot themselves from America. And they're making announcements on X. They're saying, well, now that Antifa has been designated a terrorist organization by the federal government, I'm going to take myself and my family to France for a year, to Spain for a year, to try to escape the jurisdiction of the United States.
Shalom, I'm Rift.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is not going to work. When I wrap up this in a couple of seconds here, let's get this off the stage and go back to regular programming. Here we go.
That's not going to work, man. We got extradition treaties with all those countries. You have to go someplace pretty unpleasant to escape extradition to the United States. But that's what they're...
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who think they can create mayhem in the United States and walk away and think they're safe somewhere else, they'll come and get you. So it's law and order. And I think that works out for any country, for their sovereignty and for democracy. Because if you have mayhem, crime and violence and fraud, waste, and abuse, everybody suffers. There's no win in that game. because we're in a prisoner's dilemma. You know what a prisoner's dilemma is? Google it, and you'll understand that we're all in this together. So what affects one affects the other. So here we go. We're going to go into some community events, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to play some music on Facebook, Instagram, but not YouTube. All right, so we'll be closing the show on on YouTube soon. So let's get into the community events. You know, on this weekend is a big deal. It's an absolute big deal because the Manchester High School Alumni Association North East chapter is inviting you to Manchester High School alumni and friends, alumni to our fall. So Mix and Mingle Lyman Games is Sunday, October 12th, this Sunday. And it's going to be at the Cafe, Restaurant, and Lounge, 22507 Linden Boulevard in Cambria Heights in New York. It's going to be a big deal in Queens, New York. Check it out. It's going to be a big deal. That's a big, big deal. So Sunday, Manchester High School alumni will be putting on Mix and Mingle. Big up yourself. Also, remember, on the 25th of October, that's a big deal. Stush at my cousin's place, that's my family's place in Tampa, called the Jerk Hut. That's Andrew's place. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be a big deal with DJ Bambino, DJ Kirky C at the Jerk Hut in Tampa. You got to be there, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1241 East Fowler Avenue in Tampa, Florida. You can't miss it. It's a tourist attraction. It's a lifestyle, and it's a beautiful thing. So check it out. Jerk Hut in Tampa. Stush event is going to be Stush. It's going to be big and large. Remember, me tell you, it's going to be a big deal. And let's look at on the 26th, book it. It's gonna really book it on the 26th. And I'm telling you, this is not normal, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's not normal. Yeah, let me see if we can. Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's bring that up here. Yeah, can't play the music because it will hurt with. You know what I mean? So book it the 26th of October in Junction, St. Elizabeth. Is going to be a big, big deal. Get your tickets, whatever tickets are left, because trust me, I've been told that the tickets are sold out. You know what I mean? And but they have a few left, you know, in the VIP and general ed section at a higher price. And they said 3 ladies, Jen, $5,000, VIP $10,000. So that's a big deal. 3 ladies. You understand? Ladies, not the ladies. Yeah, October 26th in Junction City. It's going to be a big deal. Big up to the Impact Movement. And we're going to get them on here before the 26th. Trust me. You know, say, nah ramp, you know. Or juke to side and get them on here. You understand me? That's how it go. In the meantime, we have what we have next. Let's see what we have next, because this is a big deal. Oh, Misha's Right Vibe. Okay. Misha's Right Vibe, November 20th. Big up to Misha, the Right Vibe 5th edition with Uptown Movement at Misha's Right Spot Bar and in Sear District in Manchester along the Sear Main Road. Just Google Misha's Right Spot and you'll get there. You understand me? It's a big, big deal. Mumasketel, December 6th, is going to be off the chain. This is Time Is Now Car Wash in Prospect District in Manchester. Tic Tac Sound, the big bad mobile sound, Tic Tac Sound, why them clash with my family son out of name, you know. You understand? We soon talk about that. Anyway, TikTok is a big bag TikTok with DJ Splendid and Muma Sketel. December 6th is her annual event, and we say big up to Muma Sketel. That's a big deal. You gotta be there. Also, we have Cash Code on December 26th. Hold up a second. We'll talk about Cash Code, you know. Big and serious. Because this is a big show, you know. These are my two nephews, Chetty and Steve. That's Asha and Asha D. You know, after Asha Mystic, you know, the big uncle, big unks there. This Mountain View Chill Spot, Sierra District in Galchester, is going to be a big deal. December 26th. It's an every year event. But they call this one Cash Code. I don't know how it's going on. If I bring some more CARICOM or, yeah, son. But one thing I can tell you, there is an abundance of food and there's an abundance of alcohol. It don't change. Year to year, it's an abundance of food, an abundance of alcohol, and the vibes is always right. So Shine Skull Movements, my family, that's a mobile sound, and also MC Marshall, and also Sean and Junior. A big deal. This massive. This is going to be at the Mountain View Chill Spot in Sear District in Manchester, or we call it Galchester. So check out DJ Ashady on passionradiouk.com today at between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. UK time. So in the US on the East Coast here in New York, it's going to be about 1 p.m. if the show starts. But check it out. He's going to be talking about it. It's a big deal. This show, trust me, it's not normal. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in South Central Jamaica and you want to have a good time before Cash Code in December 26th, just go to Mystic Inn. Go to my place. That's the Mystic Inn. Go have fun right there and check it out. Support it. You know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. But check out the Mystic Inn. You'll love it. You're going to have a great time. Thank you for your support. And also, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. We appreciate you and your family and your friends. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. Always pray when you're going out. Pray when you're coming in. And always remember, God is in control. Hit me up on Facebook right now as we close down this segment of this part of the show. And then we move on to a couple of great hits from a brother from a different mother from South Central Jamaica, an artist, a big one who was on the show the other day. And he's going to be telling you some beautiful things. You understand me? So you want to check it out, you know. Thank you all for being here. And we say one love. God bless. Listen to some music on the other side on Facebook and also Instagram and LinkedIn. So here we go. We're going to start shutting it down on YouTube.